Good morning. This is the exit ticket, and on some sentence stems. So exit ticket on sentence stems. And the very first thing it asks for is the slope. Well, when I look at the slope, I need to look up ahead. And what did we find? Well, when we went through our computer printout, we found that our slope was a negative 0.1629. And here it is in sentence stem. There's a 0.1629 decrease. And the reason it's a decrease is because this is negative. All right. Because this is negative, it's a decrease in sales price for every 1 unit increase in the number of miles driven. One of the things I like to do is go ahead and make this into a fraction, in which case I'd write negative 0.1629 over 1. All right. Well, what's the 1? What label's going with the 1? Well, remember, it's always y over x. So my x is my miles, and my y, we said up here when I went through this, we said sales price was our y. We did that in our warm up. Sales price was our y. So there's a negative 0.169 change in sales price for every 1 mile driven. So there's a there's a 0.1629 decrease because it's negative um, in sales price for every 1 unit increase in the number of miles. All right. If you write it that way, you'll get it right every single time. It really helps to put the fraction and go, oh, this is my response variable. This is my x variable. It's always y over x. The next thing we ask for is the correlation coefficient. All right, so in this case, our correlation coefficient is 0.8149. And in this case, this should say there is a strong, but our correlation coefficient happens to be negative. And the reason it's negative is because our slope was negative. All right. Up here, our slope was negative. So we have a negative correlation coefficient. There is a strong negative linear relationship between sales price. Here's our key words. Sales price was our Y, and the number of miles driven was our X. So between our Y and our X, okay? Between our Y and our X, because that's what we're comparing. And actually, up above, I should mark that out as well. There's a sales price, which is our Y, and number of miles driven, which happens to be our X. Okay? Next thing, coefficient of determination. That's our R squared. And we got that right off the computer printout because they gave us the R squared. And remember, we never used this one. So we got our R squared and 62.4% to 66.42% of the variation in, you know what this is? This is Y, can be explained by the changes in the number of miles, which happens to be our X. Okay? So make sure that we're writing it that way. 62.4% of the variation in Y can be explained by the changes in the number of X. Okay? The next thing it asks for is S, standard deviation of the residual. Now make sure you're looking for standard deviation of the residuals. We said standard deviation of residuals was this big number, okay? So the standard deviation of the residuals is 5740.13, and it measures the variance in sales price, which is our Y, for a given amount of miles, which is our X. Okay? Oops. For a given amount of miles, and this happens to be our X. All right. I hope that helped. I look forward to seeing you on the next time. But really, take the moment and go, hey, miles is in the denominator, that's our X, and sales price is Y, and that's in the numerator. All right. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you for watching.